Hey guys, I'm back out again, testing metal detectors, the XP Deus and the Equinox. I'm going to select single frequency with the Equinox at 15 kilohertz because I can get all three of the XP Deus coils at 15 kilohertz. So we'll see how it goes with this test. This is going to be against some iron nails, some old colonial iron nails. And this is going to be to mimic a situation where you're not searching around for an area or a spot or a certain target necessarily. You've already determined that this is a spot that has a bunch of iron in it, and you want to separate out the non-ferrous from the ferrous. So this is going to be a very specific test over a target, a non-ferrous target. Anyway, you'll see how it goes. Guys, got the Equinox 800 here. I'm going to be setting it up into a single frequency, 15 kilohertz. I'm running a two-tone program, which is what I like, and I've got the first tone set from -9 to 0. The second tone is everything else, right? So what you got here is the tone level of the first tone. The iron is going to be at 1. Now I can raise the volume level of that tone up. I've got it set at 1, so I hardly hear it, and you probably hardly hear it in your on the video here. 7 is the recovery speed. Iron bias. Actually, you don't have iron bias with the single frequency, only with multi, which is very interesting. So yeah, the first tone I have set at 1. I'll raise that up to about, well, I'll raise that up so you can hear iron to 25 as well. Okay, 25 and 25. I'll go back and start to turn it off later. Anyway, what I've got here, tom back button, surrounded by these two colonial nails. Tom back spin 7. It's a low conductor, and I've got a half real over here, and an iron nail right next to it. Killing it, but the nails are pretty far from the target itself. So you see how close that nail is, about 2.5 inches. These are at least 3 inches apart, so we're going to head and put these closer by that much and see how it does. Getting it good there. Getting it, but a lot of iron. Not good there at all. Getting it great there. Great, great. Missing it now, lost it. Not the edge I'm getting it, the high edge of the coil. Okay. High conductor. Silver. Half real. You lose it right there. That's it. Pick it back up. Pick it back up. Remember, this is single frequency. Alright. Let's change the multi. Multi. Wow, it just sounds louder. All the way around that target, just about. I lose it right there. Barely lose it at all. I'm still getting it, but it's just a lot of iron. It's a polluted sound, polluted target sound. It's perfect, multi. All right, low conductor. Right in the middle of the coil. Now I lost it before there with single frequency. It's not a great signal, but I'm still getting something I would investigate. Oh man, that sounds so good. Look how high that is. That's 7-8 inches above the target right there. That's amazing. Yeah, multi. Wow. Awesome. Awesome. Alright guys, let's do the Deus. I've got the XP Deus HF elliptical coil. I've got the frequency at 15.238. It's going to be as close as I can get to 15 that I had on the Equinox. Iron volume at 3, reactivity 2.5, silencer is going to be -1, audio response 5. I got my disc set at 6.1, and that's got 3-tone program. The second tone is at 7 as far as the conductivity, and we're going to go see how it goes here. You can hear the iron. It's a low conductor. (15 kHz). I'm still hearing it. That's a terrible target there. I'm not getting anything there. Unless I get the back side of the coil, it's getting it. But right here, nope. Middle of the coil, no. It's a tough target right there. Should start picking up right there. I do. You can hear it in there. Hear it. You still hear the iron. You hear the target, the good target, the non-ferrous in there. Barely. It's a blip. So about right here is when I lose it. Still getting it, but barely. And I'm losing it. I still hear, nope, I don't hear the good target, the non-ferrous. Now I do if I get to the end of the, obviously it's, the only thing going over the coil right now is the target itself. When you get all that iron and the target at the same time, you hear the iron. It overpowers it, powers it. So at 15 kHz, that's relatively low frequency for the Deus though. So in all, you know, I don't ever hunt in that low of a frequency really. So I always hunt in a 26 or higher, especially for colonial stuff in iron. And you know, reactivity I can get. I even use 3 or 4 sometimes, but 2.5 is fast as well. So here's that real. Pounding it. Losing it, barely. Still getting it, but it's polluted. It's definitely a polluted target sound. Good here. Again, 15 kHz. Coming around. If I go, all right, next coil, HF, round coil. So I've got the same settings, 15.238 .238 is the frequency, 2.5 reactivity, and same settings as the elliptical coil that I just had. So which is kind of odd, is I lose the target going around, rotating around it at different spots, from the XP Deus to the Equinox 800, which is interesting. But the Deus is so fast, so sensitive. I mean, all that iron. I mean, at depth, it's tough. It's a tough target. It's a tough target anyway. There's a lot of non-ferrous next to ferrous that you see just like this in the field, left after people detect. This is a tough target. How many times have you ever seen this scenario? I've seen it personally quite a bit. I lose it right there again. So, and see the high conductor, silver, get next to the iron. Man, look at that. 15 kilohertz is kind of a sweet spot for a lot of the other detectors, other brands too. Back end gets it, of course. This is where I lose it, right in the middle of the coil. Swinging right in the middle, over the middle of the coil. I pick it up right back here. Right about here is where I pick it back up. This is just a blip right here in this spot. I kind of lose it. And then you rotate right, pick it up. I lose it again right here. But I still get a little bit. You still hear a little bit of a good sound, a good sweet sound in there. Not much. Pick it up right there. Awesome sound. It's a lot easier to get those high conductors. They just sound off so much on all detectors, all coils. Which is why the high frequency is so important with the Deus, and get the low to mid conductors and the Equinox with its high frequencies up to 40, I believe, which is good. I mean, all right, let's do the X35. The same exact settings. So see how it goes with the X35 coil, and you can hear right now there's EMI. It's chirping a little bit at 15.238, 90 sensitivity. I didn't hear any of that with the HF coils, the high frequency coils, but I do hear it in this X35. That's been one of my gripes about the X35, is the instability, the EMI, subject to EMI. Anyway, here we go. Hear that iron in there. All iron now, just about. I hear a little bit of the good signal. Hear the good signal in there. I hear it. Mostly iron, but I hear the good signal in there. All iron there. Hear a good signal in there. Now I got ID norm off. 40 to 45, just like the other coils. It should be the exact same conductivity. Anyway. Right in the middle of the coil. So if you're coming along, detecting, you hear that? Sounds amazing. Coming from this angle, no, not so much. You hear a lot of iron. Slow up. If you slow up, catch it on the backside. Sounds great. Sounds amazing. A sweet, sweet, awesome roundness smell, or sound. Smell, sorry. All right, let's do the silver. High conductor. Loves it. Man, sounds good. Lose it here, just like the other coils. But really, still hear a blip. Something to investigate. Move the coil a little bit and see if you hear it. Move around it, rotate around it, pinpoint this thing. You're on a bunch of iron. You call it a bunch of iron. It's where a home site or a campsite, colonial sites that had structures on them usually have a lot of iron pieces, a lot of iron nails, and a lot of iron just in general. Large iron, small iron pieces and parts, and flat iron. Flat iron will give you even a different signal altogether, sometimes a really good signal. And then there's desirable iron signals you want. Cannonballs, for instance, or grenades. Rev war grenades. You want to hear those. Swords. Anyway, here we go. Lose it again here. It's gnawing out a little bit. I hear the iron though. It's gnawing out for some reason right there. Sounds good though there. Gets it, just a blip, but it gets it there. Anyway. Definitely likes that high conductor. Silver half real. Alright guys, enjoy the video.